Alright, this should be a rather short one, I hope, or think, or fear, because I didn't do much. Cheers. Welcome back, everybody, to me having a fucked up voice because I went to a festival and that does not help with having a smooth intonation. Because, this is what happens. Anyway, this is Weekly Navel-Gazing, where I talk about all the books I read or didn't read and all the videos I didn't make, and maybe talk a bit about the plans that I have for the next upcoming week, which are also kind of fraught. So this will be a short one because not much happened, really, unfortunately. So, I don't know, let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the reading. I didn't read much. From last week onwards, I did start rereading The Golden Bough by James Fraser for that ominous secret project, as we call it. We'll see where that goes. Anyway, it's a book I've read before. I want to read it again. It's a foundational text if you're interested in some of the ways we think about folklore, we think about mythology, and how that impacts fantasy literature in a lot of ways. It's also, a huge book, depending on which version you have. It may even have like 12 volumes, which, I don't know. Don't go for that one. It's a good book, though. If you don't take it literally seriously, because it's, it's over 100 years old, roughly 100 years old, anthropology, and we've come a long way since then. But, ideas may be wrong, but still fun. And that's when you can use them for fantasy. Anyway, so I'm doing that, and I'm rereading some more Discworld, but beyond that I didn't get too much because, been busy, and then I went to this festival, and turns out that camping and trying to interact with human beings does not help with reading a lot, really. When you fall in your bed, or well, in this case, your sleeping bag in your tent on a field in October at 3 in the morning, reading is not exactly going to happen. So that's sad, and I hope this will change today. Well, not today, but like this week, if I can concentrate some more, because focusing is a bit of a trouble at the moment as well. So what's my reading plans? Well, definitely continuing with that reread of The Golden Bough, because it's, important. Also going to continue with that plan of rereading the Venerable Bede's clerical history of the people of England, and Hild and Mennewood. That's the plan. Will it work? Who knows? But, I'll try my best, is my point here. So what about videos? Well, the answer is easy. I didn't do anything. I didn't get around to filming anything on, on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I went to, on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I went on Thursday to the festival. I came home back last night at 10 p.m., because, obviously had to clean up the festival site, carry around all kinds of stuff. It takes time to rebuild after that kind of stuff. So that's why I didn't do any videos. I hope I'll be able to do something this week. I really, really hope. But I'm, not sure how, where all of this is going, because right now my brain's unfortunately very fried, and we'll talk a bit about that, and obviously about the secret project stuff, because it's still on the table. So let's go there. Last week I vaguely talked about it and said, like, I'll be doing updates and stuff on my Patreon. Please join that Patreon. It does possibly help me a lot. And I did actually post one additional post there already, so there's 2 within the last week, which makes them, 2 more than in the last year, which, yeah, I'm bad at this. And I have written more posts. I just didn't get to the point of rereading through them, taking out, editing it. Basically doing copy editing, or at least taking out, spelling mistakes as far as I can recognize them. That kind of stuff. We will see. I can definitely put up the next one tomorrow. I'm 100% sure of that. And then, there's another one that is already half written. So this will continue. But, as I said, right now things are a bit difficult to focus on everything. But I am still going down that road, and I've definitely made progress with the whole project, even if it's not yet tangible progress in any way. But, so much of what I do is basically thinking until something clicks in my head, and that's for videos or any other thing really. And it has to click in my head and feel correct and feel right, and then I can actually work on something or like make it happen basically. And that's certainly something that I did make some progress on that, and hopefully that will reflect in more of these posts being written on the Patreon. And as I said, like once the whole project is done, I'll definitely make the whole thing public, but because it's it's something different, and I'm worried I'll be failing at it miserably. And failure, I'd rather not do anything about it before that has happened. So there we are. If you want to see me fail in real time, join the Patreon. If you want to wait, that's also fine. So that's that. And the other part is, of course, the cost of festivals and stuff like that. Which brings me to the whole question of the record label and attached stuffs. Social interactions, that kind of thing, because, it's hard. So I went to the festival, I tried to sell records, it did go, well, it did go. I did sell some records, is my point. Didn't make a lot of money, but, it was the first time I kind of got out there and talked to people in the metal sphere, so to speak, since June, I guess, and that's a long time. And this was the first time I kind of officially was there with the label in which even longer time. So there's that, and what with the whole mental health struggles of the last year and so forth. It took a lot of actually guts for me to actually go there, I feel, and I kind of focused on it. I certainly try to do whatever I can. There's disadvantages to being blind if you try to run a shop at a festival. The biggest one being, trying to initiate conversations, because you can't just, focus people that are moving past and just call out to them because, well, I don't see them. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? But here's the thing. Obviously, I need to figure out some ways to change my life, and one issue right there is the record label. I love to bring it back in a way that works, but that's hard. It's financially hard. I feel I know some ways of making that happen, but it's certainly taking some time and definitely some capital that I don't have at the moment. Some money to actually get things back on track. There have been some bands that contacted me recently, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love to work there again and do these kind of things and do them right this time. I'd love to do that. But I need to figure this out, and I'll have a conversation tomorrow, like a phone call with the administration here about unemployment money, stuff like that, because there are possibly options. One of them, however, might mean that I have to actually officially close down the record label, because it's a registered business. On the other hand, I got a very angry letter from the tax office because I did not actually communicate with them over a year, because I was ignoring all possible written communication, because once again it's a depression thing, and they want a lot of back taxes from me, which does make things even more awkward. And it's this weird pile of bureaucracy. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but bureaucracy is something that's really hard to deal with when you have depression. But it's also something that's really, really hard to deal with when you have ADHD. And those two things combine real well. So yeah, it makes doing the whole thing even harder. I'll try to get through those conversations tomorrow. One is already scheduled, so that one's happening. The other one, I need to actively contact the tax office and talk to people and figure out what to do there. And that takes a lot of energy to just pick up the phone and do that. I'm struggling with these kind of things. So there's a lot of stuff that's occupying my mind at the moment that is, unfortunately, not books. Not book related in any meaningful way, and that's certainly something. Obviously, going to a festival is an easy way to just ignore everything, just focus on the heavy metal stuff and so forth, which is exactly what I did. And I didn't look at my phone until Sunday, when I got a lot of messages, because I didn't read any news, right? I got a lot of messages and people asking after my family, because, some of you are aware that I do have family in Israel. And yeah, coming back and actually reading the news did not help my mental state in any further way. Everyone is safe for the moment. It's still very much adding mental stress and mental loads to what I'm, in a moment where I really, really would love to focus on something that is, well, my secret project thing going on there, where I'm really, really, really excited about something. I would love to actually get down and do that and go into full hyper focus. Last week, one day, I wrote 2 very, very long blog posts kind of things for the Patreon, almost 5,000 words each. So almost 10, no, more like 5,000 words altogether, something like that. That's, something like 5,000 words in one day. I haven't done this in years, being this productive, but now all this other stuff shows up, and I think that's one of the things that I'm slowly realizing, another aspect to this whole, mental health, neurodiversity, whatever you want to call it, weird mix of stuff that I'm in, is that it takes a lot. It basically kills all my mental resilience. And resilience is something we all need, because the world is, the world's not a good place. We all know that, right? There's a lot of stuff constantly getting thrown at us. And usually, we use our mental resilience to absorb some of that damage, some of that constant stress, and it allows us to just deal with the smaller things, just get through those kind of things and keep going. But if you're already worn away a lot of that resilience, that just through constant exhaustion that comes from just so many things being just harder or taking more energy when you're struggling with all these other issues, and then the stuff you have no control over just knocks you out even more. And add to that, going to a festival, it's exhausting work, right? Having to, basically deal with people 24/7, and lots of people, possibly, people I truly, really love and care for, really like, right? Nice people, but still, everyone's, hyped up and stuff. It's a level of social interaction, direct human interaction in a place, in the outdoors, basically, that takes way more energy, right? And possibly, me trying to navigate a festival, even if it's a small outdoor festival area, on my own. I don't know. It's not easy. It takes a level of constant more awareness, or it makes things hard, is my point. And coming back from these festivals, I had a great time there. It was brilliant. But I'm also just so, stuff, just all the stuff basically just piling up together in one moment right now, when I thought I had a really cool thing going or starting that might actually turn into something good. It's frustrating, is my point. It's really, really frustrating, because I can't sit down and just do the thing I want to do, and that instead I have to deal with, stuff I'm incredibly bad at. And certainly, some of that stuff is obviously the main cause for my stress of the last year, because realizing that I had financial issues, did not, a lot of this stuff is directly tied to my my incredibly high stress levels of the last year, right? So this shit is hard, is my point. Adding to that, all these other things, the just exhaustion from coming back from the festival, plus the world being incredibly more shitty than usual. I don't know, man. Which is why I have no idea how quickly I'll be able to get out of any of these things. How quickly I'll be, getting out of to do the things that I really want to do. And that's just me on the personal level, right? Obviously, with parts of this, there's way more at stake here than just one guy in Germany feeling bad, right? And which doesn't make it easier to deal with all of this. And I think that's sort of where I am right now, which is why I'm careful, a bit worried that I won't be able to make a video this week or anything of the sorts. which is a shame because I really, really should get that conversation on Consider Fleabus down because, yeah, I promised that, right? Um, yeah. My point is, I don't know, go read good books is my point, I guess, and take the times you have to gather more strength and energy. Most of us are being run ragged by the systems that we live in anyway, but if you find places to gather joy, to gather energy, do it, because there will come points when that energy is gone. and like any little you have stored up will help you through those places where you had like no control over the world being even more mean to you than it usually is. And that's all putting it mildly. My point is, I don't know, I'm just very tired mentally and exhausted and scared of having these conversations I really need to have tomorrow, and trying to figure out how to get back out of all the trouble I brought upon myself, and maybe hopefully keeping some of the excitement for stuff that I really wanted to do, keeping that excitement going. Who knows? It's a bit of a mess, but I hope you read some really good book last week, and you're doing good wherever you are. I know I have viewers here from places that are currently in extreme crises, and yeah, I hope you're all safe in these times when we realize how often safety is taken for granted out here compared to other places. I hope you're all safe, stay safe, get joy where you can, read books when you can, and let's get through the next week together, shall we? I think that's all we can ask for right now, and I don't know, go read a good book, because books are fun, and they should be. So, I don't know. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking with me. Sorry for this being a bit more rambly than usual. I'll try my best to have things on a more productive level next week. Right now, this is all I can do. Anyway, see you in the next one. Cheers.